It's that time of the year again when we rank every hero skin in For Honor from worst to best. We've got a whopping 16 skins to get through this year. But don't worry, as I'll be covering every skin from Lord Ramiel to General Zhi. And you might be surprised to see the ranking has changed since last year. The tonal whiplash of the Destiny 2 event had me looking like Chris Moltisanti in Season 1 Episode 4. I only had room for one shit show of a game in my life, so I packed up Destiny in 2017. I don't need them joining forces, okay? Don't get me wrong, these skins look great in a vacuum. I love Lord SHAXX as much as the next closeted heterosexual man, but why is he here? I hate this trend of games collabing with random IPs to sell microtransaction skins that have no synergy with the title in question. To add gasoline to the fire, we got these skins during what should have been the Vikings Halloween event. Am I bitter?
Yes.
Is this ranking biased?
Yes.
Will I be buying the Lawbringer skin?
Absolutely not.
Proving we exist in the worst timeline, the crazed caca consumer is no longer in the bottom spot. I'm at a point where I can't even be constructive with this knobhead anymore. Just looking at him pisses me off. A monument to Ubisoft's distaste of the Vikings. Bolthorn feels like a default raider. They slapped an elephant's testicle texture on him and called it a day. Admittedly, his armor set looks like it could have been cool. The helmet and trousers do have a unique look, but he's got his nips out. A matching chest piece might have been a balm for my soul and saved Bolthorn some points. Sneaking her way in during the Bone Zone event last Halloween, BAIGUJING isn't a hero skin, but it seems fitting to include her in the ranking. And my corned beef sandwich is thicker than yours, so I have the last say. I have dropped her down a few places since my last ranking, as she is kinda basic. But we weren't meant to have her in the first place, so I'm not complaining. It's a nice companion piece to the Wukong skin. The whites give the outfit a sterile feel, but the details such as the crack nails and Vajazzle mask add some flair without overpowering the whole outfit. As more time passes, the less I like Ramiel. Don't get me wrong, he's still dripped out, and from BAIGUJING and up I think all the skins are great. But something about Ramiel feels clunky, and I'm not making any more fat jokes about him this year. But
you're so fat, Thanos would have to snap twice, get rid of you.
He has this heavy fantasy vibe, but they also overcompensated trying to make him look realistic, to the point his proportions are off. The EZIO skin is a great example of how to do an appropriate collab, and it was cool to see a gender-flipped Peacekeeper. I know they've ripped lines from Assassin's Creed, but I can appreciate the effort in making the skin more authentic. The only pitfall to this one is that EZIO obviously has the Peacekeeper animations, which don't really fit him as an established character. However, the skin fits For Honor, and I was happy to see Ubisoft inserting assets from their other properties. Now we just need the Prince of Persia skin for Tiandi from the Blades of Persia event, although it's clear Ubisoft hates Prince of Persia as well. MEIKO has dropped down in my ranking. The original Year 8 skins were grounded with a clean aesthetic. Seeing these has made me realise how much I prefer that look compared to the fantasy leaning skins. She's lucky I ranked her this highly considering that ginger trim.
Fuck off with your ginger chips, Sean.
However, I do appreciate her asymmetrical design. The wandering eyes always gives me the creeps, but I don't think it steps the line of being too wacky that it's distracting. I know you're probably thinking, you grilled the Destiny skins, but rate the Monkey Man. I like Ubisoft pulling from faction mythologies for skins, but he has dropped down in the ranking. Like MEIKO, I'm just fed up of all the hard fantasy stuff this year, and it's had a knock-on effect to the previous skins. However, I do like this one because the devs went for a serious representation of Wukong, so it does translate well into For Honor. Clawing her way up in the ranking, it's Conquistador VELA. Immediately after posting last year's ranking, I thought, did I put VELA too low? And you guys confirmed my suspicions by calling out my placement. VELA's at a disadvantage because the skin is for one of the drippiest characters in the game, and the skin is good, but it looks like it could be an armor set. Although the skin is subtle, I think the gold sun motifs help it stand out and stop it from appearing too basic. However, I'm not a massive fan of the sword design for this one, but I decided to give VELA some love and bump her up this time round. This is the Jane For Honor skin. Some people don't like it because she looks basic, but I thought her reveal was incredible. The whole Year 8 release was just keynote. I love that this is a callback to the original cinematic trailer. It makes this skin a celebration of For Honor so far. Although this one looks simplistic, I dig it. Something about a plain knight in plate armor just gets me fired up, you know. Makes me want to fucking retake Jerusalem. General Zhi is the latest hero skin, and it pains me to say it as For Honor's #1 Wulin hater, but it is pretty dapper. The skin has a royal feeling to it, helped by the default purple colour scheme. He looks like he stepped right out of the film Hero. He looks luxurious with this sinister undertone. Who is this guy who looks like he has been hiding away from the conflict, waiting for the right time to strike? The scale mail paired with the floating ribbon adds to the serpent aesthetic, complementing the genre nicely, because he is a dirty snake. Ugh. I think they could have done without the moving eyes, since that's MEIKO's thing. It makes the helmet look derpy. RAVIER looks like a Dark Souls boss. There's more edge here than me at the back of the class.
I'm at the blow.
The metal mask with a crown of thorns just goes insanely hard, and VELA is easy. Don't know your Raviers from your Velas, and Ravier is easily the best hero skin from year 6. The Black Prize have always been an evil aligned hero since their debut, and Ravier reinforces this by being the most evil looking knight we've seen. She could give Estrella a run for her money like the cheap copycat she is. I have done a massive 180 on YINCHEN. Last year I gave some pseudo-intellectual bullshit reason as to why I ranked her in the middle of the skin, but upon evaluating my own poor decisions, Inquisitor YINCHEN is genius. You see, the pirate is the worst visually designed hero in the game. It is not up for debate, and Inquisitor YINCHEN takes this and completely flips the pirate into something not only less offensive, but visually pleasing. The improvement on the base pirate design is so mega, I am willing to overlook the fact that she's a Chinese pirate dressed as a member of the Spanish Inquisition. Dropping down to 3rd is Oathbreaker MADDOX. These last 3 were closer than me and your mum at the weekend. Last year I heralded MADDOX as the saviour of Viking fashion. He's just that cool. The Vikings should be intimidating, especially since For Honor's Vikings have been thinned out through survival of the fittest for generations. This doesn't translate into their cosmetics. The cobbled together leather and bones look enrages me more than you could possibly comprehend. The fact MADDOX is fully clothed already scores in points, and the chainmail with the saber cap pelt makes him appear intimidating. You get a sense this isn't the Viking to mess with. Orochi armor always looked like it was designed by a teenager. It was trying too hard to be cool. Master KATASHI looks so clean by comparison, and it's nice to have a grounded look for Orochi finally. The ornamental helmet and Jibara make him look more traditional and indicate his high rank, which is some nice visual storytelling for the character. Oh, but it looks like Kensei, my brother in BAIGUJING. He's literally just wearing a jacket. UNSUNG Knight has plate armor. Does that make her a lawbringer? There's going to be some degree of crossover between the two. I also really like how he tied into Sohei's release and how they incorporated historical elements like Benkei's and Yoshi's duel on Gojo Bridge. The number of times I've pleaded for Ubisoft to add GIGAMUNDR to multiplayer, I can't not put him in #1. My conscience tells me it is the wrong decision, but my heart, laddie, my heart tells me this is right. I know it's just a port from the campaign, but look at him. It's all I've ever wanted from Viking fashion. Layered leather with animal pelts and trophies, gold jewellery and highlights, and the helmet, it's just iconic. We used to call him Odin. And as Reddit user Dozerbuster pointed out, Ubi did give the skin a fresh lick of paint. The mental gymnastics I'm doing to justify this placement. I feel like I'm committing a bloody crime. They missed a trick by not reworking the Warlord and adding the bear hug to coincide with the skin's release. But look at it, it's so cool. The sword and shield do not fit the skin, and I would have much preferred the original weapons. I don't even play Warlord, but now I want to. Can you imagine if the Viking cosmetics were consistently half as good as this? Year 8 was the season of nostalgia, and it had me in a chokehold. The 4 original skins were fantastic, and I'm looking forward to where they take it next year. If you made it this far, don't forget to subscribe, and I want to see your ranking in the comments. If I don't catch you before Christmas, have a good one, and I'll see you in the new year.